Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to your geography class. So, we are going to start with a new chapter, chapter number 5, Ocean Currents. Before starting with a new chapter, let's do a short revision of what you have learned in the previous class. Now, students, we have completed chapter number 4, and that is Structure of Ocean Floor. In that, we have learned about the various parts of the ocean floor. Okay. We have learned about the relief of ocean floor, then what are marine deposits, then what are continental shelf, continental slope, abyssal plain, mountain ranges and plateaus. Now we are going to learn about ocean currents. Now children, you all must have learned about warm current and cold currents. So this is what we are going to learn in this chapter. How does the heating affect the ocean currents, etc. Now see here some important points of ocean currents we are going to learn. Number 1, horizontal or surface ocean currents, effects of ocean currents, effects of ocean surface currents on human life, deep ocean currents, importance of deep ocean currents. Students, you must have visited seashore and observed the water moving towards the seashore. So these permanent swings of water which flow in the definite direction from the one part to the other are known as ocean currents. Now see, in your textbook, we are going to start with the experiment first. A large metal tray, we have to take water, spirit lamp and sequins, plastic sequins. Okay. Now children, what we have to do is pour the water in the tray. After the water becomes still, leave the sequins in them. After some time, the sequins will start floating in the water and becomes still too. After the water stops moving, it will become still now. After some time, light a spirit lamp and place it below the one corner of the tray and observe what happens. On the basis of observation, we will discuss what is your opinion towards the experiment. So with the help of some question and answer, we are going to understand what happens exactly. Question number 1 is, what did you understand initially by observing the sequence? Answer is, when the sequins live in the water, they start floating in the water. After some time, the sequence becomes still. Question number 2 is, when the temperature of water started increasing, what changes did you see? As the temperature of water increases, the plastic sequins move from one place to another. Next question is, observe the movement of the sequins. The sequins start moving in a circular motion. There is a movement of these sequins because of the flow of water. Question number 4 is, what conclusion can be drawn from the same? As the temperature rises, the density of the water decreases and it becomes lighter. Therefore, the water having lower temperature, which is heavier, replaces the water with higher temperature. Next question is, what are those processes and why do they happen? These processes are called ocean currents and they happen because of sun's heat and increasing the temperature. Now see, there is one incident given in your textbook. Very surprising. A very strange incident occurred in the Pacific Ocean in the year 1992. A cargo ship sailed towards America from Hong Kong. While traveling through the Pacific Ocean near the Hawaii Islands, a container full of toys fell into the ocean and broke. Around 28,000 rubber toys started floating on the ocean. This incident occurred on 10th January 1992. Now, a strange thing happened. After around 10 months, on 16th of November 1992, some of these toys reached the coast of Alaska. Some of them crossed the Bering Strait and moved up to the Arctic Ocean by the year 2000. Some of them floated to Atlantic Ocean from the Arctic. Some of these reached the eastern coast of America in 2003, and some of the toys had even reached the European coast by 2007 from the Hawaii Islands. Some toys took the route to Australia. Now children, can you see in the picture from where till where these toys were floating? What do you think? What was the reason? See the map showing the distribution of toys in the ocean. The same map is there in your textbook also. See the toys, how they are floating. Can you see the picture of toys floating? Yes? Okay. Now students, why did the toys travel in this way? The toys travel because of the ocean currents, surface ocean currents and deep ocean currents. I hope you all have understood till here. Now students, let's see about the next part of the lesson, and that is various ocean currents. So children, the ocean water can be divided into two parts based on depth of its water and deep water. The upper layer extends up to 500 meters from the sea level below 500-meter depth. The region from the sea level to the depth of 500 meters is considered to be the surface water. Okay. The sea level or the depth up to 500 meter is considered to be the surface water. Students, can you see in the picture? Yes. So, that particular, the light blue color, the belt is written surface ocean. That is known as surface water. Sunlight can reach till this depth. The movements in this layer occur mainly due to the difference in temperature and salinity. Okay. Now children, whatever movements take place, this surface water is because of the temperature of the water and the salinity, that means the amount of salt it carries. The planetary winds gives speed to the ocean currents. Now children, moving to the next, horizontal or surface ocean currents. That means the surface ocean currents which floats or move horizontally. The flow on the surface of the ocean moves only 10% of the oceanic water. You must have seen when you go to the beach, you must have seen the waves are continuously coming, going, yes or no? You feel that the whole ocean water is moving, but it is not like that. Only the 10% of water is moving, the surface water. Below the particular surface water, you will find that the water is calm. It does not move, or it is stable. It does not move or it is stable. That is, charge of water in the ocean is measured in Servadrup unit. What is the unit? Servadrup unit, which is used for measuring the discharge of water in the oceans. It is equivalent to 1 million cubic meter per second discharge. Now, what is the oceanic discharge includes? It includes dissolved chemicals, biological, sediments, etc. Now, the horizontal flow of ocean water occurs as warm and cold currents. These currents flow from the equator to the pole and from the poles to the equator. These currents are pushed to long distance by the planetary winds. As a result, the ocean water flow from equator to both the poles and vice versa. Students, you have studied the map given in the figure 5.4 in your textbook. Study the map again and answer the question. Okay. So, it will be very helpful for us to understand the concept. There is a map which has ocean currents, and the red arrow line shows the warm currents and blue arrow line shows the cold current. So when you look at the map, it will become very clear in which direction which current flow. Warm current from which direction and cold current from which direction. Now see children, when you observe this particular map, you will understand that the current which flows from equator to the pole is always the warm currents. Okay. And when you see the currents which are flowing from the poles to the equator are cold. As we know that the temperature towards the pole are cold, and that is the reason why the cold currents flow from the poles to the equator. And the temperature in the equatorial region or at the equator is hot or warm. And that is the reason why warm currents are flowing from equator to the poles. Students, I hope this is clear. Okay.